And we are on the
We're on the
air.
air, I say. Good morning. Welcome to Thursday.
Welcome to Thursday and Suzilla.
Yes, indeed. Sorry about missing last week, but sometimes life gets in the way.
Yeah, enrolling people into healthcare is a tough gig. Tomorrow's looking like it's going to be our last day for the enrollment season. Yay!
Yep.
Because we've got plenty of people available on the schedule. It's like, doesn't look like we're going to need to press through the weekend.
Yeah, but yeah. Not that I'm unprepared. It's just if we don't have to, I'm not going to.
Yep. And so today I'm going to catch Suzie a little bit flat-footed because she didn't pick a good topic, and
we didn't discuss the topic. You can't blame me for that, Matt.
I'm not blaming you.
Yes, you are. You're saying
responding.
You said that I didn't pick a topic.
And that's true.
Neither did you.
So I did.
You didn't give me the opportunity.
So
maybe I could catch you flat-footed.
No,
not ever.
And this is why. It's because we're gonna do a kind of a look at something very important that's going on right now.
Yeah.
Did you ever read that wonderful book in '98 called "Who Moved My Cheese"?
No.
Okay.
I am aware of it. I've seen it. I never read it.
Because it's one of those ones that I was told, hey, you need to read this book, and almost within 6 months after that, the company I was working for, after the boss of my current group said, hey, you need to read this book, proceeded to shut down a printing facility that had been in existence about 60 years. It was, profitable by about 6%.
They moved someone's cheese?
They moved an entire factory's cheese.
Okay.
Of a family-owned business that they bought out.
Oh, there you go. It's the bought out part.
So
that's going to happen.
Well, they bought it out and then they turned around and they shipped it. It was just...
It is a giant freaking mess, and now they don't really exist
But
anymore.
it's kind of the expectations. Well, here's the thing. United Graphics has still got a name in Seattle.
Oh.
Occasionally I run across like, oh, United Graphics.
Well, I see R.R. Donnelley all the time. That's who bought your previous company, wasn't it?
Well, United Graphics was bought by Banta, which was bought by R.R. Donnelley.
Right.
And I think R.R. Donnelley's still going around.
Yeah, I still see I get stuff from them all the time.
Yeah. But that's kind of, expectations.
You okay?
Because everyone runs, a lot of people run on expectations.
Okay.
Oh, you are notorious for running on expectations. Expectations run your life. It's that habit that drives you forward.
Okay, you're going to have to explain to the audience what you're talking about.
Suzie doesn't like change very much.
I do have a tendency to get stuck, yes.
And when it happens, it's that decision-making phase of, oh my gosh, what do I do next?
I like to know what's coming. So I don't like change. Because I know if there's been no changes, I know what's coming.
And see, me, on the other hand, I will instigate change.
You are Mr. Chaos himself.
I am. I recognize change on a regular basis. And it's helped us maneuver our business quite a bit.
Oh, absolutely. Which actually, the fact that I'm less chaotic and he's more chaotic, we actually work really well together in keeping each other in a middle position.
Yeah.
Because I can have put a leash in when he's starting to get wildly out of control, and he pulls me out of my comfort zone on a regular basis.
Yeah, and we're one of the big changes we got is next week we're going to Olympia.
Yes.
And this is the first time that Suzie has been able to make the trip.
See, I knew we were going to end up talking about this.
Well, yeah, we're going to end up talking about this multiple times.
Yeah. We're going to Olympia because it is the day on the Hill when the politicians fling open their doors for, what's the word I'm looking for?
It's the life and health insurance guys.
Yeah.
It's our rally. And that's one of the expectations that we had as outsiders.
Uh-huh.
When we were outside of the industry,
lobbyists. That's what I was looking for. Yeah. Lobbyists.
Yeah, we go and we do lobby, but that was one of the expectations that we always heard that politics and business don't mix.
Yeah.
That was something we grew up with.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
And we're not doing politics. We're not saying, "Oh, here, do this." We are, we don't say, "Don't vote this politician." We'll say, "Hey, vote this policy."
Yeah, we're policy-based political people.
And we have to be, because it's
well, the health industry is run by politics.
Yeah,
maybe it shouldn't, but it is.
Yeah, because the further we got into it, the further we see, and it's interesting because I fully expect one of them. I'm not going to mention any names, so I will spare. 2 out of 3.
We get the opportunity to request visits with our local legislators.
Yeah.
Our 3
at the state level, our Senate and 2 representatives.
Right. And so we had 3 of them, and we managed to get appointments with 2 of them.
No. We managed. We requested, and 2 of the 3 said, "Yeah, sure, that'd be a great idea."
Okay. We've never managed to get the 3rd.
The 3rd, we never managed once he became a senator.
Yeah, he's never approved the visit.
Yeah, well, we also had COVID in there, so it kind of put a kibosh on some things.
Well, even before COVID, though.
Met him a couple times.
Did you?
I don't think I met him in his new office when he took over for Linda.
Anyway.
So yeah, if you're familiar with local politics, you know exactly who I'm talking to. If not, well,
you're welcome to go look it up on the internet.
Yeah.
Because it's public knowledge.
It's public knowledge. So anyway, 2 out of 3 said, "Yeah, sure, we can meet." I expect 1 to be standoffish because of the party that they're in. They've been largely hands off when it comes to healthcare affairs, except to restrict access.
Yeah, there's been a lot of shenanigans from that particular party.
Yeah, and they actually did a bill already. One of their members actually proposed a bill to take away gender affirming care for minors.
I saw that. I was disappointed. I'm not surprised, but disappointed.
Yeah,
I don't think that's going to fly in Washington State.
Well, we need to get over the whole, we're going to sit here and we're going to cater to crazies.
Okay, and if you were to, you could take what you just said and flip it to the other side. Real easy.
However, if you flip it to the other side, look at the weight behind it.
Okay.
Literally every medical association
is saying
take
care of these kids.
Take care of these kids. It reduces suicide.
No, I got that.
All the educators, same way. So it's literally crazy is going against the learned professionals and saying it doesn't work.
There you go. Well, yes. I don't know if crazies. I don't like to use the word crazy.
I do.
I know you do.
And yeah, the psychiatric community will say, no. That's appropriate because you're going against all your professionals' backgrounds that have studied it and have researched it and saying, hey, that's a bad path to go down.
Well, okay, so here's the question. I'm going to take it on a slight left turn here, just on a policy situation. Yes, some of the people are doing the studies, listening to people, and knowing about everything that the professionals say, and still saying, no, we don't want to do this, right? We don't want to have gender affirming care for our people in this state. There are that qualifies under your category as crazy. And then there are the ignorant who just parrot what they've heard with no knowledge of what's actually going on. I don't know if that makes it crazy or just stupid.
Well, the regardless is you fall off the cliff. You get people killed.
You get lemmingage, yeah.
And we've always been about, hey, we want people alive and well and moving forward.
And as happy as possible.
So yeah, if you sit there and ignore your professionals, or you take away your professionals' ability to speak,
which is common in Florida these days,
yeah, you're moving in a crazy path. It's kind of like blindfolding yourself and running down a mountain trail.
I'm sure there are people who do that just for fun.
I'm sure they don't last long.
No, probably not, but I'm sure it's been done because
no.
Come on. You can't tell me some extreme sports jack wagon hasn't tried that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm not. But that's beside the point entirely.
Yeah, because
it's not smart regardless.
Yeah. So there are points where it's like, okay, Crazy says the cheese is going to be in the same spot as you left it.
Right.
The cheese has moved.
Okay, so you adapt.
So it's time to adapt. One of the things I popped on CJ on Insurance Soup today, and one of the guys, CJ, has got an awesome footprint. It's got actually paid from TikTok for his videos. Does all sorts of remarkable. One of his carriers did a review and said, "Oh well, hey, you need to start promoting our stuff." And everyone who knows on how strong a digital footprint he's got. He's an influencer. He's talked about it. He's doing some amazing stuff.
And one of his carriers said, "You need to talk about us more.
You need to share our content, and you need to buy leads."
No, this man is so busy he can barely see straight.
Okay, there you're in your conventional. Now you take to the mat level. It's like, well, did you say thank you for that recommendation and for sharing your content? I want influencer feeds from you.
Oh, there you go.
And that's the difference between convention.
Well, no, what threw me off was that you have to buy leads from us.
Yeah.
It's like, no.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to buy leads from anybody.
Yeah.
But no, if they want him to pitch their stuff, he needs to be compensated for it.
Yeah. That's kind of where we're getting to, and that's why the conventional insurance agency is scary to some companies.
Conventional agency.
Okay,
conventional agency is scary to some people because.
Okay, we're in a shift now.
Yeah,
we're in a serious shift. There are insurance companies that are stopping to compensate agents because of their influence.
The agent's influence.
The agent's influence.
Okay.
Because there have been some pretty successful agents out there in really promoting products and engaging, and they're starting to see that yes, they have an influence on the market.
They do.
So if they're working with a company, there are a couple different ways to do it, and we kind of hinted about this a couple weeks ago. That we suspect one of our local companies are getting ready to go all captive.
Yes, we're seriously thinking that was going to happen.
So it's one of those things that we watch and we look, and what it means is if you're in the conventional industry, they're removing the distribution rights.
Okay.
Because you've worked in the retail market. It's like, yeah, distributor cuts you off, you've got no more product.
Yeah.
Or you shift if you're an independent, you're able to shift who you're getting distribution from.
So if you're okay, so let's say you are Nancy's Mega Craft Mart, right? And you're just Nancy's Mega Craft Mart is available in 3 cities in it's a regional chain, right? Not very many. And they've been working with different distributors to get yarn.
Yeah.
Right? And if the distributor says, gosh, we're going to cut you off, we're just going to take all of our yarn sales to the internet. Then Nancy's going, well, what about my customers? And the customers are going to go, sorry, Nancy, we're going to go to the internet. That's the model.
That's the conventional model.
That's the theory.
That's the theory. They don't count on Nancy going and say, okay, fine, you do that wonderful yarn company. I'm going to go over here and get my yarn elsewhere.
Right, because Nancy still has to thrive.
Because Nancy still has to thrive. She's still got a customer. She's got regular subscribers to her.
Yeah, she's got people she wants to take care of. She doesn't want to lose her customers because she still has knitting needles to sell.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So she goes and finds another yarn distributor.
So she takes care of her community.
And she also probably realizes that dealing with this big monster distributor is not always the smartest way, because guess what? A lot of her customers like the small business yarn purveyors.
Well, that could be one of the angles
that's a
that
possible
Nancy
pivot.
uses. And it's really important to find your tools.
Find the niche, find the tools, find who's going to be able to cater to your customer base.
You got to find more than one niche.
Exactly.
Because we're going to see marketplace where you have to do multiple shifts.
Right. And that's kind of what we're doing here at Wenatchee Insurance.
Yes.
Is expanding our niche. Well, we're multi-niching. Is that a word?
Yeah. We're multifaceted.
Yes.
Because what we're doing is we're taking a skill set,
mm-hmm.
that health insurance.
Yes.
And we're saying, okay, well, that's shiny.
Mm-hmm.
People are coming. They're getting products that are affordable, that are usable,
mm-hmm.
and that they understand.
And if there's a question, we're there to help them understand it.
And we're able to do follow-ups.
Right.
And so we're becoming, that faceted, shiny thing. And it's like, okay, well, let's add another facet. We added another facet, which was Medicare.
Right.
And that's real shiny.
Yeah. I'm pretty proud of that.
And that's real shiny. That's shiny to the point where we've got people that have retired and are using retirement Medicare plans, trying to come to us and get advice.
Yeah. Which is really interesting.
So that's going to be one of the conversations we have with the legislators. Like, look, hey, it's wonderful that you got this program, and it's wonderful that you're purchasing this stuff.
Would you please service them?
Service them, or
compensate me,
or we're going to start pointing them at your direction.
Mm. If they want to compensate me for this advice, not the clients. If the state wants to, because it's a state-based program.
It's run by the Healthcare Authority.
Right.
They're the largest purchaser of the health insurance in the state of Washington.
Right. If they want to start giving me a commission for this service, I will be more than happy to take care of their people in a cold minute, in every aspect.
Yep.
They used to.
They used to. So it's like, okay,
why can't you start that again?
So, well, it's the this is where we're going to be doing the okay, which cheese is where.
Yeah.
And we're going to remind people that, hey, you can move it.
Cheese can be moved.
Cheese can be moved.
It's not even those great big wheels of Parmesan can be moved.
And you just got to.
Sometimes it just takes a forklift.
Yeah. So that's one of those things. So we moved on that. We've added a life component. It's shiny for what's there.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of people know about it.
Yeah.
So it's not a really big facet at this point.
No.
I imagine that's going to get bigger. And now we're going into the property. That's
interesting.
And we don't have full products.
Nope, we're getting there though.
Because there's some of the older companies, because it's the worst market for property in 40 years.
Of course, that's time for us to get into it.
And we're like looking at it, it's like, okay, that means that yes, rates are going up,
mm-hmm.
and that means it's time to shop. So it's like, yes, we're gonna find the team that's the other yarn companies that are willing to work and work to are hungry for that appetite, mm-hmm. and servicing those 3 Nancy stores.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're doing, and we've started already, and
got what, 13, 14 now?
I'm not quite sure how many that
we are making excellent progress though.
Yeah. For example, we had 3 flood companies.
Yeah.
I put one forward that's really interesting, because It's fast. It's easy. I don't need an elevation certificate, which is kind of the bane of
Oh yeah,
of
the
flood
process.
insurance.
So okay, that's kind of cool because they can probably get away with that in places like areas like this rather than say Florida where you can literally be below,
Well, it's got other underwriting rules.
Yeah.
So if you've got like multiple claims, forget it. We have to go.
So it's usually a very simple.
It's a very simple, very fast process, but it doesn't have very much depth.
Okay, that's funny for the flood insurance.
It is, but that is really important. Is insurance? A lot of people compromise the depth of coverage for speed of quoting.
Yeah. I can see that.
And so we're starting to talk about that. We're starting to talk about, no, we want to gather the information. We want to take that information that we have gathered, and we want to go into these different, these 14, 15 different companies, and we want to see which has the best offer.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to come back and we're going to sit down and present the offer, do any minor tweaks, because we can do minor tweaks. And then you can say, yeah, that works for me, or no, it doesn't. It's not a fast, hey, 2 minutes in, bang, you're done with $500,000 in liability. It's insurance shouldn't be that way because you're protecting your assets.
So the model we're creating is less of the call in, don't even meet face to face, slap down some numbers, get a policy. It's more like dealing with the actual means tests, the needs.
What we're doing is we're taking a
needs assessment. There's our
we're taking a step back, and we're looking at the process, and we're saying, okay, these are all these different fine and dandy companies that are offering these insta quotes that turn around and farm your information out to 1,000 different brokers, so your phone blows off the handle. We don't want to participate in that.
No.
We want to step back to kind of an old school model of where we're gonna use some of those internal links so that we don't blow the phones off people.
Yeah.
Because we don't sell out information.
No.
But we're gonna go and do some multiple shoppings for people.
That's cool, and that's what our aggregators
and we're gonna do it with professionals who understand it and can explain it.
Yes.
Because we already came into someone that they minimized coverage for electric car, so that they didn't have $50,000 in coverage.
You can't replace an electric car for $50,000.
Yeah.
You can repair an electric car for $50,000.
And that's one of the things. But what they were doing was they were doing fast quotes as possible,
as cheap as possible, probably
as cheap as possible, so they get the win, and so that they wouldn't have, if the customer ever needed to use it, they'd be in trouble.
The customer would.
And we don't ever want to be caught like that. We want our customers to be usable coverage.
See, that's something that's always been true since day one. It's not just affordable, but usable. Usability is the value in a policy.
And that's why we took that shiny element, that one facet of that healthcare, that usability, and we shifted it over to property, the houses, the homes, and the businesses. We did our first business the other day, and they were amazed because we did our due diligence. We said, okay, this is what you're doing, and we asked the important questions. It's like, hey, you know what? If you're going to host events, having an event policy is a really good one with you listed as the named if someone else is running it.
There you go.
That way you've got additional coverages that cover you. So you got layers of defense
in the event of something
ridiculous
happening. Yeah.
And they were pleased. It was more affordable than they expected. And that's what you do is you add value. And that was one of the important things that we did about 4 years ago when I took you shopping for insurance.
Yeah. Last time we shopped.
No, it wasn't last time because we got a new policy that starts Sunday.
Well, the time before.
And we went, and you could tell the difference between the agency owner versus their producer versus customer service.
Yeah.
And
now, to be fair, every single one of the people we discussed policies with did fine. Yes. Didn't have anybody go, wow, I really don't want to ever talk to you again. Never had one of those.
Correct.
However, we did find that we
went with the one that was able to recommend important add-ons.
Yes. And discuss and explain why he wanted to recommend them.
Yeah, and did very solid in recommendations. And that's, we took, what he did is like, yeah, he wasn't necessarily the cheapest.
Nope.
But he was one that was had the strength of his knowledge that he was able to recommend coverages.
He also had strength of character to not just pull the cheapest out to make the sale.
Yeah. And that
happens way too frequently.
Way too much in this industry. And in turn, if someone needs it, they get it, and then they complain, well, the insurance never works. And usually that insurance never works is they're focused on price. You never focus on, we have the discussions on, literally, well, how is this going to use it? And we do it. Okay, yeah. We run some worst case scenarios.
Oh yeah. The bit by a shark conversation.
The bit by a shark. I know in a couple of weeks that you've had a couple of people that have been a little bit wild with the out-of-pocket maximums and there are things. It's like, no, this is really it. And that's really important to have those conversations.
Well, and then the whole, what's the difference between a deductible and an out-of-pocket maximum? That's part of the conversation I have every policy I help write.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I don't do the property stuff, so I really don't know how those, other than from a consumer level, I don't know how those work out. But that's why
we don't, with property, there's the big difference. Property doesn't have an out-of-pocket maximum.
See, that's what I was going to say, but there are deductibles.
Yeah. The closest way you get to an out-of-pocket maximum is
replacement.
Well, no, it's because replacement value versus actual value is a different thing. That's assessment. The closest thing you would do would be if you had this is very nerdy. I don't expect anyone to get this. Reinsurance.
Oh, yeah.
If you had a reinsurance cap, you might run into that, but that's usually at the insurance carrier level.
Yeah, that's a super nerdy concept.
It's a super nerdy concept, and you don't get it unless you're like building policies.
Yeah, and that's usually when you're building from scratch. It's like building a computer from scratch. You can be done, cobbling together little bits and pieces. And you've got to have a really specialized guy to be helping you with that.
Yeah, I've known a few that have built, actual product lines.
Yeah.
And picked their minds on how to do it, and it's like, yeah, I know how to do it, but I don't know. I would seriously have to bring together some experts to push pencils.
Yeah.
Because usually, I don't want to run blind down that mountain path.
No, you're not that extreme jogger. And that's something that's usually, if you're going to be creating a whole new package, it's probably going to be somebody who's created a whole new industry of some sort.
Yeah, and well, it's knowing how to work the industry, and work the changes. We had our 60-day with our property guys, and we started talking about some of the different marketing elements that we've been doing, and we shocked them in a couple areas.
Oh, good.
Because I talked about geofencing.
Oh, they must have loved that.
He was like, now this is he manages like I think 20 to 50 of us, different agencies.
Yeah.
He's done this for several years.
Yeah.
and this was, we were the first agency that dropped the fact that, yeah, we can geotag an address and direct ads to them.
Nice.
So, and then it really shocked them was I told them that, yeah, I've used some AI to write blog posts.
Nice. So you're a little bit ahead of your mentor in certain aspects.
In certain aspects, I'm doing things that are so raw that the trainers don't experience someone else doing it.
Cool. All right.
And at the same regards, he's like very aware of Charles, who did his 200 Google stars.
Did he hit it?
He hit his Google stars.
Ah, we're so close.
We're at 180.
We are still. I thought we were at 182. I don't know. We're still hot on his trail.
We are still hot on his trail, and so we're in interesting, but it's going to shift.
Yeah.
We know that Google stars, because we're at almost max capacity for what we can do with Suzie Health Solutions. And that's why we're adding other things, because it's like, yeah, we know that this is a trap. We can sit there and service it. There's no.
We're kind of maxed for growth.
We're maxed for growth until we add something to it.
Right.
We either add bodies that have the capacity to do it. I don't think we can add tools, or we add additional programs. I actually had someone the other day mention that their person couldn't get an appointment, so they soldiered through and spent a couple days on their own doing their health enrollment.
Oh dear!
And I was like, they could have came in the door anytime and we would have taken care of them. That's the way we designed our system.
Oh.
But they used the conventional, only the appointments. They didn't realize that we take walk-ins.
No, we haven't really been talking about that. Are we out of time?
We are out of time. We've gone just about the time. So, hey, pay attention.
Yeah.
Pay attention to your expectations.
Watch for your cheese.
Watch your cheese.
Just know where it's going.
Understand that the cheese is moving. It's always in motion. And that you can't constantly expect it to be in the same spot that you left it.
No. But be excited where it's gone.
Be excited where they're gone. And sometimes nudge it.
There you go.
So, hey, have a great day. We will talk next week. And yeah, I'm sure we're going to talk about Olympia.
Yep. Bye.
Yep, bye.